Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at the changes people have recently noticed in you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Before we get started with your pile selection, I'd just like to thank and give a quick word to my sponsorship, Keen. I started to feel like me and my partner have gotten a bit disconnected in our relationship, so when the Keen sponsorship came along, I thought it would be a good time to get a reading from one of their tarot readers. I asked about the future with my partner, and she predicted that our relationship would deepen through the upcoming months, and while receiving the reading, I couldn't see how, but when time came to pass, I could start to see what she said about our relationship was true. Last year, we dedicated a lot of energy into our careers, so we barely had any time to spend together as we were busy most hours of the day. So we planned ahead to take a break. It allowed us to spend more time and to be in each other's presence. We got to connect and get closer to each other again, just like the reader predicted. Ever since her prediction came true, I realized we need to make quality time a priority. And since then, our connection and bond has only gotten stronger and grown. We found our way back to each other and strengthened our connection again, so what she said definitely resonated with what happened. The love reading I got was very beautiful and sweet, and every detail mentioned was accurate and actually made sense. So I'm grateful for Keen for providing such good readings and gifted psychics, and would definitely recommend their readers to anyone. So if you would like to know more about your life or anything in general, Keen connects you with talented psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers like myself, who are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can always get a reading whenever it suits you. All you have to do is create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. These readers all have their own unique specialties and gifts, so whether it be about your love life or what to do next in your career or just life in general, they are able to provide a deeper understanding of your situation and how to navigate it from there. You can choose whichever reader best suits your needs, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. It's always best to get a personal psychic reading if you'd like more accurate information on your situation, because it is directed only to your energies. Now here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 5 minutes for only $1. Go to trykeen.com/psychicsciencetarot or click the link in my description box to receive a discount on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this partnership opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychicsciencetarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So getting back to your pile selection, for pile number 1 we have purple agate with the Knight of Swords. For pile number 2 we have green opal with the 8 of Swords. And for pile 3 we have Larimar with the Queen of Cups. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile is calling out to you the most. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this purple agate crystal and the Knight of Swords, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at the changes people have recently noticed in you. Please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Before we get started with your reading, I'd just like to announce that I am going to have availability for personal readings next month. So if you'd like to book with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. I am only going to be taking a limited amount of bookings, so book while you can. Let's go ahead and get started with your tarot cards. So I was smelling foods. Maybe there is something that has recently changed within your eating habits. Maybe you've been eating less or more of a specific type of food. And there could be a reason for that. Maybe your body needs that right now. Sometimes the intelligence of our body is smart, but something to do with your eating habits, what you're eating, your health maybe even. I just saw 1111. For instance, let's say you're not actually doing anything different with your eating. Maybe people are looking at your body and how that has changed. And maybe they are perceiving it as you're eating differently or doing something to do with your health. Because as I said that, I got goosebumps. Do you see my arms here? So I think something to do with your body has changed over time. And people think that you've done something differently, like gone to the gym or something to do with your eating habits. Let's see what you have for your cards. So, what are the changes people have recently noticed in pile number 1? What are the changes? We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the Page of Cups. Okay, so I do sense that you are trying to create more balance, more stability within your financial abundance, because I see the Queen of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles popping out, which represents your money. We do have the Knight of Pentacles at the back of the deck, so you have been working towards something. You have been working towards some kind of growth within your finances. And you're very persistent while you do so. You're like running towards your dream and goal, and you have a goal in mind, right? And if it's not to do with your finances, it has to do with something physical in your life. I heard some of you could be moving homes. Some of you, it has to do with your health and your body, like running towards a goal and being consistent and persistent and not giving up. For some of you, it has to do with a project. For some of you, your career. I guess it can literally be anything that is physical in your life. And, sometimes at times when we're working towards something, we may deal with moments where we feel unmotivated, uninspired, like we don't feel like doing it. Is it ever going to happen? But I feel like you are trying to show up anyways, even when you feel that way, and trying to form a love for this goal. Not just the end result, but working towards it. You're trying to form a love towards working towards this, not just the end result. So I heard learning to love the process, no matter what the end result is. Someone's eyebrows here has recently been looking good, and people have been wondering, did you make some kind of change to them? Also, somebody's hair. I'm also getting this vibe from you that people are noticing that recently you're very wary of where you put your time and energy. Because you're having your eye on this goal, because you have so much of this drive to go towards this goal. Whatever you're currently working on persistently, there's a feeling here of sometimes I lack the energy to fulfill this, so I need to get rid of distractions. I need to focus on where I'm putting my energy so that I am able to have enough energy for this goal that I have in mind. And I feel like that's what people have been recently noticing about you. Like, you're no longer putting your time and energy towards things that no longer give substance to you or like bring you happiness or joy or add value to your life. You're getting rid of distractions, knowing where to put your focus and energy and time, because we only have a limited amount of hours during the day. So I almost feel the sense of you no longer wasting time. And I don't view it in a way where we're wasting time, but this is how other people are viewing it. Like, you're no longer wasting time, you're staying on top of things. You're noticing where your energy is going, how you're feeling throughout the day in terms of your energy levels, what is draining your energy and what is replenishing you. So you're being mindful of where you're giving your time and energy because you only have so much. With the 5 of Pentacles, maybe sometimes there's a lack of energy or motivation because of all the work you've put in, right? But with the Page of Cups, you have this dream in mind, this transformation you want to reach, and you are already starting to reach that. I guess more is just going to happen over time. Because we are doing a reading on, the changes people have noticed within you recently. So maybe people are starting to notice this dream or goal start to actually transform, start to actually play out. Because I'm seeing a butterfly effect or a domino effect where little changes happen one by one and it leads to a big transformation and change. So people are seeing that if you continue working towards this, if you continue putting your efforts towards this with the same focus and determination, perseverance, consistency, and show up even when you don't feel like it, even when you feel like you have no desire or motivation, you're still going to continue to show up and then you're going to transform more. So that is what people are noticing in terms of the changes. What else? Someone here has recently had a change in their style or in the way they do makeup. Something about style or makeup. Someone here has been spending more time outdoors. I keep getting that message of like giving our time and energy to things that are valuable to us, things that, add to our life. Someone here has recently gotten a new tattoo, or people have just noticed it recently. I'm also getting some of the things I say in this reading are things people speak about when it comes to you, because I feel like a lot of people like to speak about you. So it's 12:12 on the clock and I heard MIA, missing in action. So it's kind of like you're focusing on you, focusing on the things you want to build for your life, focusing on the things you want to achieve or move towards, rather than just, like I said earlier, wasting your time on wasting your precious time on things that don't matter to you, on things that lack substance, at least right now. So for instance, some of you could be, for example, going out less, partying less, focusing more on your goals, or maybe you usually go to a fast food restaurant, but you're focusing on going there less to give your time and energy to good health. That is what I'm talking about as an example. It doesn't have to resonate perfectly, but think of how it resonates as per your life. So in the last month, only 41% of my viewers have subscribed to my channel. So if you enjoyed my videos so far and would like to stay up to date with what I post daily, hit the subscribe button to not miss out. Thank you to everybody that supports my channel. I have so much gratitude and love for you, as well as appreciation. So thank you for being here. So let's see. What changes have people recently noticed in them? I did shuffle your cards beforehand with the intention of the question. So we do have the Seven of Spirals, Seven of Wands reversed at the back of the deck. Let's see what tarot cards you have. We have Death reversed. Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles again, Five of Stones, right under the Five of Pentacles. Interesting. The Eight of Spirals, Eight of Wands. The Ten of Scrolls, Ten of Swords. Ace of Spirals, Ace of Wands. And last but not least, the Phoenix in the reverse. I'm going to put this here. Kind of feels out of place, but maybe it's meant to be. So this is the Judgment card reversed. Let's see. So I'm really drawn into this tiger here. And, the Phoenix represents rising above the things that have hurt us, represents that strength, resilience. The cat family also represents that strength and resilience when we see lions and tigers in tarot readings. So I'm getting here, what am I getting? Okay, there's something in your life that you're having trouble moving past. Maybe you're usually you're very strong, you're very resilient, and you're able to quickly move past something or quickly bounce back from something. But it could be true, it could not be. This is just what people are noticing. So take it as it resonates, take it with a grain of salt. But there may be something in your life that you feel like you can't rise above. You feel like you can't move past. You almost feel like you're stuck in the middle of this thing. And there's nothing you can necessarily do to change it with death reversed. That's what I feel intuitively. Or maybe like having a hard time letting go of something. I'm hearing a plane go by. That could be significant for someone. Someone here could be traveling a lot or could want to travel. And then these shooting stars are really standing out to me, which represents wishes, as we said before. So, with the Eight of Wands, people are definitely noticing you take action towards your wishes, your dreams, your goals, the things you want to achieve. And with the Ace of Wands, this is your motivation, your passion, your drive to go towards this. Because as soon as I started your reading, I heard passion. So it's like you have a lot of passion for this thing you want to achieve. Confirmed with the Ace of Wands. Your ancestors could also be noticing some spiritual changes within you, of more life force energy coming in. I almost want to say watch pile 2 if you were drawn, because I want to say, like, if you're feeling stuck, your ancestors are saying you're not stuck. Look at it from a different perspective, because we see these scrolls around this tiger, and it's like around him, which makes me feel like maybe he thinks he's stuck, but he can move it. Or if he looks at it from a different perspective, he can leap over it. And there's a butterfly right behind him, which makes me think of like spirit animals or ancestors being right behind us, but we can't see them. They're trying to help us, but we can't see them. So I almost get the sense that they're saying to trust and surrender. A lot of spiritual changes are happening behind the scenes that you cannot see. And before the physical changes happen, spiritually, your energy is changing in some way. You're having some kind of transformation. And when you come out of this, you're not going to have the same mindset you once had. You're going to see things a lot differently. I heard you're going to see things much clearer, without false illusions. What else? Something about sexiness, a glow up. Ace of Wands makes me think of sexiness whenever I see this in a reading. It can also represent the more 18 plus energies, the Ace of Wands. So I feel like there's something about you having a glow up within your physical appearance that people are definitely noticing. Some of you are just becoming more fit. Something about your body is changing. Or changing in a good way. A change you would want. I'm getting a message of like, I want to change something in my life, but I lack the resources to do so, to make that change myself. So I'm almost getting the message, you're not supposed to create this change. Spirit is going to help you with that on the other side. So sit back, relax, rejuvenate, sit there and look pretty or handsome, and all you can do is wait for things to fall into place, for the right time, for the right moment to make that change. So Spirit is bringing me back to the other day. I've been playing Sims a lot, and Spirit is showing me a vision of this, so it relates to the story of what I'm seeing here in your cards. And I'm like thinking while I'm playing the game, oh, the social need is low. I should probably call this person. And as I think that, that person starts calling on Sims. So it's like that thing of telepathy when you're thinking of somebody and you're like, oh, I should call them, and they call you right away. It's like sometimes you think something and you don't actually have to go and put in the work to do that. That thing just comes to you naturally, like the law of attraction, manifestation. So I'm seeing something like that, you know, like when you think, oh, I need this, how am I going to get it? And then you forget about the thought, and then it comes in like a shooting star, like very fast. I hope that makes sense. So whatever resources you lack to create change in your life right now, it is going to come in. And why is this showing up in changes people are noticing? People are waiting for this change. I hear long overdue. They feel it's long overdue. They've been waiting for this change to happen in your life, but it hasn't happened yet. Phoenix reversed. So this phoenix is like very colorful. I don't know what phoenixes usually look like, to be honest, but I'm getting like with the Ace of Wands, the color is coming back to your life. A spark is coming back into your life. Like you're finding the color again after being in darkness. And Judgment Reverse makes me feel like maybe there's a lesson that you haven't fully completed, where you haven't fully completed the cycle, you haven't fully found clarity on this lesson or understood it in a different way where it just clicks, but it is still gonna happen. So maybe the things I'm mentioning, like if they haven't happened in your life yet, maybe I'm picking up on a future energy of what people will notice very soon. It doesn't feel like a far into the future energy. It feels like in the next coming days, weeks, or a month. I don't feel like this is a far ahead thing. I feel like it's very soon. So maybe that's why it's coming up in the reading. And if you're watching this at a later stage and you see this actually come into your life as you're listening to this, then that could be a sign too. Because, of course, readings are timeless. Time doesn't exist in tarot. We can sometimes pick up on future energies. So, one last message from these cards. I feel that people are noticing that you're a lot less afraid. You're becoming a lot more courageous. You're starting to trust in yourself more. And you're also letting your guard down a little bit. I feel you had been through some hurt and pain in your life, definitely, that people have noticed. And at one point, you were protective over yourself a lot, where you were almost like keeping watch to make sure nothing bad comes in. But now there's this change in you recently where you're starting to come out into the world again. Some of you have been on a hermit journey, and you're starting to come out into the world again. I'm seeing the Tangled movie when she comes out of the tower after the longest time of being there all her life, and then she feels the grass and everything just feels so magical. I'm seeing something like that, going back out into the world and seeing things differently from the healing you've done. Now you're able to let people back into your heart space. Maybe not people from your past, but new people. You're ready to see the world with the beauty and with the color again. It's like I'm putting on my rose-colored glasses again. I'm seeing the Care Bears clairvoyantly where they put on rose-colored glasses again. And they're like, I actually want to see life in rose-colored glasses because it's more fun this way. I've learned the discernment, I've learned the wisdom, but I don't necessarily need to use it right now. I can let my guard down a little bit. I can have fun a little bit. I can look at life through the eyes of a child again, and not worry about every little thing or try to control every little thing. So I see something like that. Maybe you're a little bit more open to people recently. Open to trusting people, open to seeing the good in people again. Because the one thing is, like, when we're healing from something, at some point of the journey, we realize that, oh my gosh, like, I never saw this toxic trait in this person, and I was maybe, like, in denial of it for some of you, not all. And then it's like we just look for red flags in people. We try to look for the bad to prevent getting hurt. And that's our mind's way of protecting us, which is sometimes needed on that phase of our journey. But then we get to another phase of our journey where we have to let go of that and be able to see the beauty in people again, be able to see the good in people again. And I feel like that's where you're currently at for some of you. So let's get your oracle cards. I feel this one, Breath of the Cosmos, My Will to Thy Will, Micromanaging the Universe. This one kind of like turned upside down. So this is like a hidden energy you do not see that people are noticing. And sometimes they notice it and they do a backtrack where they're like, is this something true, or am I just like kind of like projecting on this person? Okay, Breath of the Cosmos, I do feel like, what am I getting here? Some of you have dealt with betrayals, have had situations in love where you lack the love you wish for from others, like in your relationships. And it's like, where is the love I've been wishing for? I've been doing so much healing on myself, but where is the love I wish for? Or where is the thing I'm wishing for where I've done so much work on this? Either I've done healing work on myself and I thought I would attract love by now, or I've done some kind of physical work towards a goal I have, a dream I have, and I haven't seen it come in yet. And I do sense that this pile is quite spiritual. You're not used to the earthly realms. Because I feel like your soul isn't used to the denseness of Earth. Your soul isn't used to how long things take on Earth. So other people may sometimes see you as a little bit impatient, but I don't think you're impatient. I think that you've lived multiple incarnations as other beings on other places, other dimensions, other places, like other planets, whatever you resonate with. I don't exactly know what this is, but your soul feels like wherever you used to be, things would happen very fast. Those manifestations, they would happen very fast. And the one thing I've seen is it happens fast in the spiritual world, but it takes some time to actually reflect in our physical world. And I feel like that's what you're currently dealing with right now, where you're learning to be a little bit more patient and not micromanage the universe. And I'm getting a situation here of a message, like when you are at a restaurant and you order something and you're waiting for so long and you're so hungry. Think of it as you're hungry for this desire. You hungered for it so much it actually hurts. And you're impatiently waiting, and then the waitress comes and you're like, this is my food, and then she goes to another person and you start like, yeah, that process of like waiting for something. But then let's say somebody just talks to you and makes you laugh, and then you almost like start forgetting about the food and start focusing on the conversation, focusing on what's right in front of us instead of what we don't have. And then you actually start enjoying the process because you're no longer waiting. You're no longer in that mode of waiting, and then the food comes and you're like, oh, it's here. So I'm kind of getting that energy where recently maybe you've started actually enjoying the process of not necessarily waiting, letting it be, letting it happen whenever it needs to happen, and letting the universe do its thing and enjoying what you have right now. You may hunger for more, you may desire for more, but you're enjoying what you have right now and where you're at right now on this journey instead of wishing you could be somewhere further. Because just like when we're in school, we can't skip a grade. And that's the message I see here. I'm going to pull one more oracle card. So we have, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. So I do feel as though people are noticing that you're no longer trying to please everybody, because we can't please everybody. We can't be everybody's cup of tea. I'm sure there's people that don't like me, just as sometimes I don't like a person, and it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. Sometimes you just don't click or vibe with that person. So sometimes, we can't please everybody, but the only thing we can do is embrace ourselves, embrace who we are fully. And as we embrace who we are fully, we start to attract people that do resonate with us, where they can see us, and we start to attract them. And I feel like this is what's happening right now, where people are seeing you not give a F anymore. Not, like I said earlier, not try to please anybody. You're just trying to please you and trying to find enjoyment in the process of your life. Because you're living your life. You're not living for anybody else. So if you make a decision that somebody's not happy with, so be it. It's like you're giving less of a F. You're worrying less about what people think. You're worrying less about if people like you or not. Because you're living life for you, not for them. So that's what I see here for you, pile number 1. I really hope this reading resonated with you. If you like this reading, please don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 2s. If you chose the green opal crystal and the 8 of swords, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at What changes have people recently noticed in you? Please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Before we get started with your reading, I'd just like to announce that I am going to be available for personal readings next month. I have limited space available throughout the month, so if you'd like to book with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm getting with this pile, someone here could be dressing in a more edgier way. Someone here could be in their villain era. Like setting more boundaries. I feel 4 cards. Okay, and then some of you could be a little bit more mysterious right now, where people don't really know what you're up to. It's like they don't have access to you anymore. A lot less people have access to you right now. And you choose who you want to give access to. There's something about you being more okay with making mistakes and doing a do-over, because, you know, the first time we make the mistake, it's kind of like a trial run. And then once we're done, you know, and we do it again, we have more knowledge on how to do that specific thing and then correct that mistake. So I feel like people are noticing you're being a lot less hard on yourself and allowing yourself to fail and fall so that you can pick yourself back up and try again with more wisdom and knowledge this time around. 4 of Pentacles, the Hierophant reversed. So this is the God of Wine. Maybe somebody here has stopped drinking or has gone sober in some way, shape, or form. Someone here has maybe stopped smoking or just releasing any bad habits that are not good for you, of maybe like overindulgence, right? The 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, it's like, you know, when you fail, you make a mistake, you get up and you try again. And that's what I'm getting with the 7 of Pentacles. Also, I heard like you're not trying to prove yourself to anybody. That's what people have recently noticed in you. Like, you're not trying to prove who you are or make people believe you or, you know, make people think of you a certain way. So at the time you're watching this, whenever this is, it's like, even if it's later on, it's like, I see you going into a phase of no longer trying to prove yourself to others, no longer trying to make yourself seem a certain way to others where people think of you this way. You're allowing people to misunderstand you. Maybe in the past you felt very misunderstood by others because you're a very unique person and you have a multifaceted nature to you. You have layers to you, because they're showing me Shrek where he's like, I'm like an onion, I have layers. So yeah, you know, if somebody's going to misunderstand you, they're not trying to understand you. So why try to prove yourself to them anyways? If somebody's going to think you're a certain way and they're projecting onto you, then let them be, you know, because we can't necessarily control another person's perception of us. I also get the message here, you know, when you're in a stuck situation. This is a weird message to explain to you. So Spirit is showing me an example, but it's an extreme example that may be a little bit controversial, but this is what they're showing me. So let's say I was kidnapped by somebody, and you know, you see sometimes in like situations like that where when we fight back, it maybe makes them more aggressive. But when we listen to them and we just allow them to be, it's almost like they become a little bit softer. So let's say I was kidnapped and I'm in somebody's basement. Such a weird, controversial example, extreme example, but this is what they're showing me. And I'm stuck in this room. I can't leave. I've tried to escape many times. I can't leave. So now I've just accepted my circumstances that I'm stuck here. And I know that sounds morbid, but like accepting the circumstance and not fighting against it maybe gives me a little bit more of the upper hand, but I don't yet realize it. Because I'm not fighting against it and I'm surrendering and I'm accepting it, I sit there on the floor and I'm just being. I'm not trying to like change anything here. Where I almost feel like I've given up, like I've accepted my circumstances, and then I'm looking around and I see a key out of nowhere. And I know I never saw that key before because I was so busy struggling, trying to get out of this stuck situation in which I'm kidnapped in. And then I find the key and I finally escape. And he hid the key under the doormat or something where I didn't realize. So it's kind of like maybe you're finding keys to unlock certain doors that were never open before when you're not struggling anymore, when you're accepting your situation, even though it is undesired. And you know, in situations like that, where, like, let's say the kidnapper has the person they've kidnapped, and that person agrees with them, you know, in psychology, they may call that fawning, like when we're really agreeable to a person. But sometimes in those situations, maybe it's necessary to survive. So I'm getting here a message of somebody that has the fawn response, where you may go into people-pleasing mode based off your childhood. So maybe some of you grew up in childhood homes where you felt stuck, where you felt like a victim to your circumstance. That's what I'm getting from the kidnapping message. Because it's so extreme, maybe you went through such an extreme situation that you could not escape from. And some part of you had to use what you had in order to survive there. And I think maybe people are recently noticing, maybe you've gotten out of this, you've escaped, you've liberated yourself from the stuck situation, and you're working on yourself. You're working through that pain and trauma. Because if you know Medusa's story, it's a very painful story she's been through, with a lot of pain and trauma. So I don't know. I feel like you've been healing something within. You've been working on releasing this, liberating yourself from this. You don't want to hold on to these memories anymore with the Four of Pentacles and the Hierophant reverse. It's like, how do I explain this, Spirit? For some of you, it's not like letting go of addictions, but letting go of addictions to people that are bad for us. So say, for instance, let's say I grew up in a childhood home with parents that just mistreated me. I don't want to continue letting them back in my life. I don't want to be like sort of addicted to a person that is treating me badly, mistreating me, you know. Or let's say I'm in a marriage with somebody and they're just not good for me overall, but I'm like so addicted to their love, but it's not good for me anymore, that I need to let go of it. I need to not hold on to this anymore. And that's what I'm getting from the Hierophant reverse, since the God of Wine is here, and the Four of Pentacles, because the Four of Pentacles is usually holding on to something. But I'm almost getting like this feeling of I'm holding on to something that's not good for me. And I know it. So I need to release this. So this could be a person in your life. This could be a habit you have. It could be literally anything that is not good for you that you're letting go of. And if it was something that helped you in a previous time of your life survive, be compassionate to yourself. Don't judge yourself. You know, be compassionate to yourself that you needed to use this strategy to survive in that environment you were in, or in that stuck situation you were in. But now you're no longer in that situation, so we're going to find a new habit, a new way of approaching things. So I knew this energy was going to be heavy when I saw the Medusa card, but I just didn't know what it was going to be about. And I actually feel a pain from my sacral chakra releasing now after these messages. So you've definitely been releasing and healing something. I don't want to trigger you, but some of you were in situations of abuse. Because sometimes, okay, Medusa is associated with where she's been SA'd, if you know what I'm talking about. And the sacral chakra associates with our sensuality. So I don't know, like maybe some of you were a victim to a circumstance that you couldn't get out of. And when I shuffled this tarot deck, because I pre-shuffled before and then shuffled again just to get pile two's energy, my aunt is here with justice. So I had a feeling that like you're getting justice in some way, spiritual justice or physical justice, to do with the law for whatever happened here. Like if anybody has done something wrong to you, even if it was not like a situation as bad as that, but like let's say something was taken from you. It was unfair. You couldn't do anything about it. You had no say or control over this. And now you're getting your justice. That's what I feel here. So you're very spiritually protected. If anybody has done you wrong, people may be noticing that you're going to get good karma, whereas this person's going to get very bad karma. Okay. 11:33 as I say that. And with the Hierophant reversed, I'm getting a weird message here. Like, sometimes in spirituality, somebody's like, oh, that's like a lesson. I feel like this was not a lesson. Sometimes things happen to us, sometimes bad things happen to us in life, and it's not necessarily a lesson or something we're meant to go through. Sometimes it just happens and we can't necessarily like control what happens to us in life. Sometimes life just happens to us. Sometimes we're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sometimes life just happens, or a person out of their free will decides to do something wrong to us that we can't control. So I feel like the message here, it was not a lesson. It just happened and it wasn't meant to happen. And whatever happened to you, whatever hurt you here, I'm so sorry, pile number 2. So let's get your other cards. I feel this one, the 5 of spirals, 5 of wands. So if some of you have been in a kind of like law battle, I feel like it may work out in your favor. 9 of swords reverse, 9 of scrolls. 8 of stones, 8 of pentacles. 4 of mirrors, 4 of cups. The watcher with the queen of mirrors, queen of cups. I don't know why I hiccuped there, but maybe it's something to do with the throat chakra. I feel like when I pulled the watcher, I hiccuped. So maybe certain people like are watching you, trying to figure out what's going on in your life, and they're talking about you. Because that's the energy of the throat chakra, right? I just saw 333. And they're watching you very intensely, like talking about you, trying to figure out what's happening in your life, what changes have been happening. But it's almost like whatever they think is happening is not really happening. So say for instance, I see the illusionist and the sun popping out. Let's say, because we see it here on the sun, let's say they're like, oh, they seem really sad lately, but actually you've been really happy lately. Like they're getting a wrong impression of you or noticing a change within you that is false, that is based off their own want or desire. So it reminds me of a situation where, like, let's say you're doing really well, but then somebody that doesn't like you, somebody that's jealous of you, or just is in competition with you with the 5 of wands, or angry at you, since we see a dragon kind of like breathing fire and throwing flames at something specific. It's kind of like they're trying to attack your character, or to make themselves feel better. They're trying to say that you're going through bad changes in your life, but you're really not. You're actually doing really well. I feel like the people that truly see you without that illusion of anger towards you or competition, see you clearly and think that you're doing really well lately. They're thinking, the sun is coming back out. As you've been liberating yourself, the sun is coming back out. Okay, 15:15 on the timer. If you were drawn to pile number 1, I highly recommend watching that, because I said to them something about the color coming back into their life, and that message was very similar. So with the 4 of cups, as I look at these fishes, I'm hearing Nemo, just keep swimming. So somebody is thinking you should keep going towards working on yourself and towards these changes. I feel like these changes are not necessarily something people can see from the outside, but they're more so internal. They're more so like, yeah, you working on yourself and your own emotions. With the Nine of Swords reverse, people have been noticing that lately you seem a lot less stressed out. You seem a lot less, either you seem a lot less angry at the situations you've been through, or you're allowing your anger to come out and let it be divine rage. When I say divine rage, I mean a situation like, this thing was unfair to me, and my anger is actually valid because my anger is showing me that this is not okay. This is unacceptable. Whereas some of you are letting go of the anger because it's no longer something that you want to hold on to. So I guess just take it as it resonates. There is no right or wrong answer. We're all at different points in our life and our journey. And sometimes that anger may aid us or bring us healing or show us something. Whereas sometimes letting go of it may be what we need. And I'm not saying to let go of it if you are angry. Let that anger out. Don't suppress any emotion you have, because suppressing it just makes it worse. So when you release it and don't judge yourself and be compassionate to yourself and just allow whatever emotion to come through just to flow through, then, we can find more of this energy where we're moving past it, right? So I'm seeing that quote clairvoyantly that's like something like, I don't know it exactly, but I'm seeing it like, to move past it, we must go through it, something like that. I saw this kind of like post on Instagram by somebody where he said something about our thoughts being like different sea creatures. And one thought can be like an intrusive thought or a fear, like a big shark. But think of our mind as the ocean, or our emotions as the ocean. And each thought form or feeling just flies past us or swims past us, and we should just allow it to be. We're maybe the ocean, the observer, but we can't stop the shark right there in its tracks. We have to let it swim past. So it's kind of like, maybe you're allowing your emotions to flow more and not necessarily shaming yourself or making yourself feel like I should feel another way, but just accepting your emotions and allowing them and being an observer to them with the watcher. Not necessarily trying to change anything, but just sitting with that feeling. And I feel like people have noticed recently, like, you're a lot less anxious, you seem a lot less stressed out. And the work you've been doing on yourself shows through the emotions that show it on your face. So let's say in the past you always looked like you were feeling a certain way, and now you look like you're feeling different. Your overall vibe has changed. That's what I see here. And with the Four of Cups, this mermaid is really sticking out to me, where I'm almost getting this vibe like whatever stuck situation you were in, you can swim out of. Because mermaids also have very powerful tails, and the dragon here also represents power and strength. So it's like people are noticing that you're realizing you're stronger than your pain. You're stronger than the things you've been through, and you can swim past that. And with the Nine of Swords reversed, I'm almost hearing like with the angel wings here, you're too angelic for this world. You're too like sort of pure for this world. That's what I hear. So I think I'm going to end off with a tarot. I don't feel called to pull oracle cards for you, but I really hope this reading resonated for you, pile number 2. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this Larimar crystal and the Queen of Cups, then this is your reading. We're starting your reading off at 13:03 in the clock in your pile 3, which is kind of cool. So the number 333 may be significant to you right now. We're going to be taking a look at the changes people have recently noticed in you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Before we get started, I just like to announce that I am going to be available for personal readings next month. So if you'd like to book with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. I'm only going to have a limited amount of space throughout the month. Okay, so weird message, but like I got something about your posture has changed. Because I was slouching Nana and then I kind of like just remembered like I shouldn't slouch. But I don't usually pay attention to my posture. So I did it like in the beginning of your reading now. So there's something here about someone's posture changing, like your posture becoming better. Maybe the way you walk, the way you kind of talk, the way you move. Something's changing there. I'm also seeing a hairdresser clairvoyantly, or like new clothes. You know, when you go to a clothing store and you go to the change room, I'm seeing that clairvoyantly. So maybe somebody here has recently got a new clothes. So, or something has changed with your hair or hairstyle or hair color. So let's get your tarot cards. So spirit guides of pile. Ooh. Okay. We have the Seven of Wands reversed. I'm going to do this. We have the King of Pentacles reversed. And the Two of Swords reversed. Let me just analyze this for a second, get into the energy. So I'm getting this has to do with a relationship in your life, because I see the Lovers reversed popping out. And as I'm in this energy, I sense this is about somebody else, not you. Like a certain connection you have. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection, but it's a connection in your life right now. And this King of Pentacles energy doesn't necessarily have to be a man in your life, but somebody that is just like in this energy. So I sort of feel like I heard trouble in paradise. So it's like your connection to this person usually feels like a paradise, usually feels very comforting to you. But now I heard I want to get outside of my comfort zone. So some of you are having this change within your relationships where you're almost trying to get outside of your comfort zone. So say you usually do a specific thing with the people you love, and you notice that hasn't worked before. Maybe you're trying a different method with the people you love, but you're still like doing trial and error to see if this works or not. Kind of like taking a different approach. With the Two of Swords reversed, you're not making any decisions yet. You're kind of just waiting out and seeing where things go. Because I feel like this is a situation you've worried about so much, where, you know, when you worry so much and then you almost feel like emotionally exhausted from, or mentally exhausted from worrying so much, that it's kind of like we don't even know what's going to happen in the future. The worst possibility can happen, the best possibility can happen. And most of the time, the things we worry about don't really happen to us. So I feel like there's something about you, I wouldn't say not trying to worry, but just allowing it to be. It's not like you've given up, but you're also not trying to fight the worries or fears. I don't know how to explain this energy. It's like, as I'm in your energy, people feel very confused, like in terms of what they're seeing, in terms of how they can explain what they're seeing. Because it's like people are seeing it within you, but it's very faint. And you're very mysterious in a way where people can't quite figure you out. Okay, let me just use some clairvoyance. Okay, Spirit is showing me an example of, let's say we're trying to find a job. Our situation with money is dire, and, you know, we're trying to find a job, but we're going online, and maybe our dream job that we want, there isn't any listing for it yet. So we're watching, we're waiting. We can't necessarily take action yet, because maybe they're not open for applications yet. So maybe in the meanwhile, we're applying somewhere else, and we're just waiting. Like while we're applying for jobs, we can't necessarily do anything. Maybe some fears come up in our mind, like, are we actually going to get that job or not? Are we actually going to get what we want or not? Or are we going to have a problem here to do with our finances and stabilities and like paying bills, you know? Are we going to get out of this stuck situation, or are we going to stay here? So it's almost like we haven't reached that point of celebration yet of getting what we want. So all we can do now is wait and trust in the process and hope that whatever is meant to be will be, instead of trying to worry about every little outcome that's going to happen. So I'm getting that vibe to do with something in your life where I think this is a theme in the collective, because I'm seeing this a lot within my readings right now. Recently, like a theme of like letting go of control and surrendering to the universe. It's been showing up a lot in my readings. So I kind of get that vibe from you where people are noticing that change in you. Where it's like, I can't necessarily make any decision yet. My hands are tied. All I can do now is wait and see what happens. With the Seven of Wands reversed, I'm getting mixed messages here for some. Okay, so for some, I'm getting, you've been somebody in this Queen of Cups energy for a long time. 111 on the clock. You've been someone really compassionate, really sweet, really open. But there have been connections in your life that have been, I hear selfish, where people have been selfish. People haven't given you the same love you've given back. People, for some of you, have gone through betrayals from people you loved. Like maybe you had some trust issues for a while where you couldn't open up to people the same after this. Maybe you wanted to make a choice to open up to people, but it was like, I'm seeing a baby bird that is so wounded that it can't use its wings to fly. So it's like your heart was so wounded that you couldn't open it up for some of you, that you had to have that guard up to protect your soft heart. Because that's what the Seven of Wands represents, like sometimes having that protection up, having that boundary up. And since she's holding a bunny, it's kind of like our heart is very soft next to the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a very sensitive soul, she feels things on a very deep level where little things can hurt her or make her cry because she feels so deeply, because she has such a big heart. And when people betray or just don't give the softness to this Queen of Cups energy that they deserve, it really breaks their heart when people don't treat them the way they deserve to be treated. So even with this crystal, it has like markings on it. So I'm taking this as like you've been wounded before, but you're not broken. And now your heart is coming back to wholeness, coming back to a healing, 1313 on the clock. And maybe you're able to let your guard down now and open up to people again and trust people again. So if you're single, maybe you're starting to open up to love again, the idea of love, or, like maybe you're starting to open up to the idea of letting people into your life, into your heart again. Because now you have the discernment and the wisdom to see who you want to choose or not. But sometimes we also can't always fear the unknown. We can't always fear getting hurt because we won't know until we try. So sometimes with the Two of Swords reversed, it's not like we can make any decision to see a person fully, to see their intentions fully. Sometimes we have intuition, but sometimes we don't always see a person fully and what their intentions are, if they're intending to hurt us or if they have good intentions to us. So sometimes all we can do is open up our heart and hope for the best. Take a leap of faith almost. So I'm getting that vibe. Whereas for others of you, it's like people are noticing you're having stronger boundaries with people you were very soft to, where that method hasn't worked with these people. So maybe you've been very soft and nurturing to certain people in your life, but some of them have taken it for granted. Some of them just aren't making any changes And it's like, now you have to give a tough love. So I'm getting that with the Seven of Wands reverse and the bunny. Like, now it's like, I have to give a tough love. So take what resonates with you. I feel it has to do with your relationships and like matters of the heart. So let's get out your other tarot cards. So I don't know why Spirit keeps showing me birds. But now Spirit is showing me a bird that is like a baby bird about to leave its nest. The mama bird has to almost like push the baby bird off to actually jump, to actually fly. So sometimes we have to push people to let them fly, to let them take a leap of faith. So, okay, for example, let's say there's somebody in your life that you know they have the potential to reach something, but they just aren't living up to that in any way, shape, or form. This is for some of you, not all. And maybe you almost have to push them with tough love. Maybe that's what you've been doing recently, where you're not either letting things slide or you're like holding this person accountable. I don't know why this bug is here. Do you guys see it? That's so weird. What does that mean? Why is that bug here? Like maybe this person needs to actually take action on something and they've been complacent. And it's like, you're not having this anymore. So something about tough love is coming through. Pushing a person to be their best self. Pushing a person to take a leap of faith if they've been indecisive. So I'm getting for some of you, it's like learning to balance out this nurturing energy and our boundaries. Learning to balance out our boundaries and opening up our heart. Something about that is the theme here, and I just saw 1313 again, so that could be a significant angel number for you. It's this feeling of balancing out, opening our heart, and also having that guard up. That's the feeling I get here. Soft love and tough love, a balance between that. So we have the Dreamer with the Knight of Cups. As I pulled this card, I heard a song. I'm just trying to think what song it is. I think it's Kanye West, if I'm not mistaken. I'm hearing the melody in my head, but I don't know what song it is. I can't find it on Google. But I think it's like something like dreaming, waiting, and then it has like a melody or something like that. So we have the Death card in the reverse. We have the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Mirrors. You have a lot of water energy in this pile, especially Scorpio. We have Four of Spirals, Four of Wands. The Four of Wands was in the reverse at the back of the other deck, so quite interesting that that's coming out. I feel like that's all the cards I'm going to pull. So there have been some challenges to do with the things you want to manifest, right? Before I explain this, I just want to say, in the last month, only 41% of my viewers have subscribed to my channel. So if you enjoy my videos so far and would like to stay up to date with what I post daily, hit the subscribe button to not miss out. Thank you to all my subscribers that have been here since the beginning. Thank you to everybody that supports me right now. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm sending you so much love. Okay, so I'm hearing Eye of the Tiger. What does that mean? Is that a song, I think? Okay, it is a song. The meaning behind it, it says on Google, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the spirit of our rival and our last known. Survivor stalks his prey in the night, and it all comes down to survival. Okay, and somehow the light flickered. I don't know if you guys saw that, but my lights aren't on, but I saw a light flicker as I said that. So I'm going to take that as confirmation. So there's something here about waiting for a dream to come true. We've taken the physical action towards that wish or dream, but now all we have to do is wait. Like I used that example of, applying for a job. Once we've done that, and we've applied for all the jobs there isn't anything necessarily else we can do except wait and let it go. But not let it go in a way of letting go of our dream, but just like almost like forgetting about it for now, because if we think about it too much, we're just going to stress ourselves out. So let it go for now. Focus on something else right now. I don't know. I feel very confused in your reading. I don't know if you're feeling confused about what's going to happen next. If other people feel confused looking at your life, I just feel this energy of confusion. Like I even feel like I've gone off topic. I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel that in the energy. So there's something here about a challenge when it comes to manifesting. Not that you have any challenge with manifesting. I think you're actually a very great manifester. It's a thing of believing that it can happen. Having faith in your dreams. Having faith that your wishes can come true. Even if it seems unlikely in the physical 3D reality. Even if we start questioning, how is it going to happen? You know, our celebration is waiting on the other side, waiting for us to find it. Because I'm looking at this house here in the Four of Wands, and Four of Wands usually represents celebration. And I'm getting the sense as I look at the imagery of like a storyline. Let's say I'm walking through a forest and I'm trying to find shelter or a place to stay because it's getting late, it's getting dark, because we see the moon behind there. And I finally find this like cottage or home where I can celebrate the fact that I found this. So it's giving me this vibe like your wishes, your dreams want you to find them. And maybe there's been some kind of change in your mindset that people are noticing, where you're not necessarily waiting around for this to happen. I think this came up in another pile too. I'm not really sure which pile it was, but it's like I'm not necessarily waiting for this to happen. Or another reading, sorry. I'm not really waiting for this to happen. I'm just letting it go and trusting and believing and praying that this will come. So that's basically the energy I'm seeing. Like I'm letting go of it. I'm not obsessing over this. Because when it's meant to come into my reality, it will. Okay, I'm getting that people feel confused explaining this because it's something they can see within you, but they themselves haven't fully integrated this knowledge and wisdom for them to understand the full picture. Because I feel like I'm looking at a glimpse of you and I'm missing a piece of information for it to click into place, or a perspective change for it to click in place. Do you know what this energy feels like? It feels like your spirit guides are giving me information, but it feels like they're speaking a different language I can't understand. It feels like they're explaining something to me and I don't get it. Like they're taking me back to math class. I was really bad at math, where I had different tutors and they'd explain it to me in different ways, but I just couldn't understand it. So it's giving me this vibe like you're going through something that not many people go through, right? Or at least the people you know haven't gone through this. And they need that perspective change from you. Because they haven't gone through this, because they haven't integrated the knowledge or wisdom of what you're going through, they have a hard time fully grasping or understanding what's happening here in your life, what changes are happening. It's like they can see it on the surface. They can see a change within the way you're looking at things, within your emotions, within your mindset, or at least you're trying to change something there. But it's like they don't fully get it or grasp it because they haven't actually seen it happen in their own life. But when they see it happen with you, they're going to be inspired by that so much. It's already starting to happen. They're going to be inspired by you so much that they start to see life differently. So I don't really know if this message makes sense. Okay, we have the Void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic boom. We have big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, and inspired ideas. With these two cards, I'm getting the feeling, again, it has to do with your dreams, your visions, the things you want to bring in. And if that has to do with love, you know, maybe this is the case. But if it has to do with something else, it's okay. But it's like you long for this new beginning so much. You just want this new door to open. But it's almost like we have to be comfortable with where we're at right now. Sometimes, when we're in the manifestation process, we're daydreaming about our future life, but there's some part of a dissatisfaction within us where we're like, I'm not fully there yet. And then our mind starts to overthink and think, how will we get there? When will it happen? How will it happen? Is it possible? Is it too big of a dream? And then we start like overthinking, and we have to almost like just get ourselves out of that rut and be comfortable with where we're at right now. And stop and embrace where we're at right now, because maybe it's teaching us something. Maybe it's teaching us valuable wisdom that we will need later on. So they're showing me, in a game when you collect something, like let's say you collect a token in the game and you're not really sure what you'd use it for yet, but you have it like in the game, you have it there, but you're not necessarily focusing on it. And then later on in the game, maybe you need one. So it's kind of like they're showing me the wisdom you're accruing right now, the wisdom you're learning and containing right now within you. You're not using it right now, but you're going to use it later on. And some part of this enjoyment of where we're at right now, where we still long for that future, but we're learning to enjoy where we are right now, some kind of perspective change with this is also going to help you manifest this quicker, because you're accepting your current reality and not resisting against it. Then the changes will happen much faster. And I feel you've had this perspective change that people are noticing, but they don't fully grasp it. They feel a little bit confused with explaining this. So I hope this made sense. I hope this reading didn't confuse you. And I hope it wasn't all over the place. Or like, I felt like I was slow to get answers in your reading. Even though I saw it, it was like I was slow to grasp it. So yeah, this is what I have for you, pile number 3. I really hope this reading resonated with you. It is 13:31 on the clock, so we see variations of the number 3 the whole time for you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.